I find it very strange when someone comes up and then I saw you from afar. Can I have your number? Like, what happened to hey, hello, how are you?
I think I was really, really drunk then, and my friend was like, he was enabling me to like just message like this girl. I was like, hey shorty, like you're so like
Shorty!
I forgot what.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Hot Pot, where we hop into different pots of spaces people find themselves in during life's transitions. I'm Joey.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Q. And today our special guests are the people behind Neverstrangers. It's Jean and Angelo.
Yay! Welcome.
Hi, I'm Angelo, and I'm one of the co-founders of Unfiltered that runs Neverstrangers.
Hi, my name is Jean, and I'm the host and MC of Neverstrangers.
Which brings us to today's topic, dating events versus dating apps. So is this the end of your dating apps like OkCupid, Tinder?
Coffee Meets Bagel,
Wow,
Hinge,
the fact that y'all both know so
Grindr.
Grindr is do one.
Grind.
much. Okay. Okay, maybe you guys can share more about what you guys do.
We started Neverstrangers as a social mixer for dating, but now we do like general social mixers for friends as well. And then I think something very interesting is Jean was at the first Neverstrangers, and we became friends, and now he MCs and works very closely with Neverstrangers as well.
I was hanging out with a group of friends, and they actually signed me up for the event without me knowing. And I went in and said, oh, just go in first. We're going to park our car. We'll join you later. So by the time I was inside, I was like, where are you guys going? I'm like, oh, we're going for dinner. Enjoy. So the next thing I knew, I was in Neverstrangers, and through that, I actually met Angie, and we became very close friends ever since.
Okay, first of all, he calls him Angie. That's so cute. Angie.
Oh, I love that. Angie from HR. Like, giving.
But then how do you all screen like to determine whether people will be a good match or not?
We will actually go through every participant one by one when they submit on their waiting list.
So it's not AI lah.
The AI matching is at the event itself. But we do screen participants because like when we got into this whole social mixers, right, we do get like we ask venues for advice. And they say that when they do dating events, right, there's a lot of creeps who turn up. So we actually ask every participant like what is their reason to go. So if people like reply in that comment saying like, oh, for fun, that kind of thing, then we reject.
So you want them to be intentional when it comes to dating?
Correct. Like have actual intentions like that matches the brand, I would say. Like they don't just want to come up, like have fun, and then like it ruins the whole experience of people who are serious, who want to find like a actual partner and
What's
stuff.
an A-star answer?
Sometimes if the thing is too long, also a bit like red flag.
Oh.
Like they will explain their whole life story and.
Oh my god, he's like dating everyone. Because he needs to QC everyone.
But now I don't do the fact checking. My team does it. So, but then like we do have a certain requirement lah. Like I feel like these kind of things you can sort of feel also whether this person really going for genuine intentions or like they just want to have fun.
You'll stalk the socials also, right?
Have also.
I think ultimately it's so difficult to vet. I was telling him it was up to me, just put your SingPass or LinkedIn when you apply. But obviously we can't do that. But sometimes when I go and host and see these events, I do, sometimes we do have people who are a bit creepier or not there for the right reasons, and
still lah, they manage to sneak past.
Sometimes they still like you can't really tell like their comments or like their reasons to go to the party make sense. So we accept but when they come, they really a bit more of on the creepier side. So we will tend to like not send them invite emails in the next round.
They catfish you.
Yeah, a bit.
They really catfish you. Like it's the
Yeah.
same thing as when you go on a dating apps, right? Then you text someone for 2 weeks, and then when you meet them, they're so different.
The benefit, right, is that it's in a group party setting. At least people, there's this person is a bit like of a red flag, like avoid. Rather than like if you are on an app, then you after weeks of talking, you go on a one-to-one date, then like this person is a bit of a creep.
No out, right?
Yeah, it's very hard to get out lah.
it's just sad that sometimes some people do have a lack of spatial awareness. They don't understand how to read the room. So it's not to say that they're creepy, but maybe
Lack of self-awareness lah.
yeah.
A little bit.
I mean, and at the same time, there's venues that we hosted at. There's bouncers and external staff as well. So if they do anything that does cross that line, eventually at some point, we will
get
have
help lah.
Yeah.
The reason why we are talking about all this is because dating events are getting more and more popular these days, especially on TikTok. And then it links back to whether dating apps are dying.
What do you think as someone who has been, I think you are more active than Joey and I.
I haven't used dating apps for 4 years
wow.
already.
Wow.
Yeah. So I haven't been on apps
So
actually.
you're not very current lah.
Okay, I personally feel like I'm not actively looking. That's why I'm not on dating apps. And also because my mentality has shifted quite a bit in terms of how I view dating apps. Initially, when I first started, it was all new to me. It was fun. Oh, all these new faces, right? But actually, after a few years, you realize, sometimes the same faces are still there. And even me, right? Like if I fall off and then I come back on it, then people might recognize, oh, this girl is back.
I saw her before.
Yeah, correct. And then I think after a while, it got really tiring because you're going on multiple dates with different people, putting your best self forward, but your best self might be a very curated version. I think the intention going in is like I'm already looking for a potential partner, but I'm not making friends. So I stopped using dating apps because I realized I wasn't being my truest self.
I think the good thing about a dating event would be you only need to get ready once, and you only need to carve out these few hours once, and your pool is widened by a lot.
Yeah.
And it's a face-to-face interaction. Nothing beats a face-to-face interaction.
Okay, for example, like you match like me with this person already, right? Then another person got matched, right? Got anybody like KS the other person or not?
Yes. Yes.
How does that work? How does that
It's
work?
like Love Island.
So the first time I was there, I was matched to a person. So I sat down with her, and apparently this whole night, she was the big target of this creep. He was chasing her around, pestering her. And when I sat down with her, he kept pestering and annoying her. If you're watching this, I'm really sorry, but to the person who's very creepy. So he kept talking to her. He kept pulling her while I was talking to her. I was like, oh, so what do you do? And then suddenly he taps me on the shoulder and said, oh, can I pull her away for a second? I'm like, you should be asking her, not me. And he kept pulling her away. And towards the end,
Physically pulling her away, or
no, like I think not like, but more of like a
Talk to her.
Yeah.
we do have instances, but I think since then we have gotten a lot better at how we curate the people.
Okay, for the both of you, have you guys been on dating apps before? And is that a reason for why you move towards dating events?
I have used dating apps before, but not recently anymore, because I think everybody have the same experience. Even the convo kind of like gets very boring after a while, and then it's just the same repetitive thing over and over and over again. Sometimes it's like you spend a few weeks talking to this person, right, and then you meet, and then the person doesn't. It's not the same online.
So there are people who are like good texters, then they like in real life cannot.
Yes.
It's like they don't match the vibe online
Like a bit
versus
smelly.
physically. No, like not physical. It's like I think people got more confidence online for some reason.
Definitely, when you're able to
like-
hide behind the screen.
Or like
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe a friend use their phone to message. Back then in poly, like people will use their phone, like, hey, this is how you message this person, that kind of thing. Then the person is very different in real life, because someone
Drafting
else.
the text. Oh my god, I
Yeah.
always draft the text for my friends.
Or
I
they
love
chat
it.
GPT.
It's so fun.
But I guess some of the pros of dating apps is that certain things are indicated, like your religion, your preference of whether you're taking it seriously or you want to settle down or not. Maybe if you meet in person, then you have to go through that question one by one. Although I prefer the in-person Q&A session.
But the good thing is that they do the first round screening for you lah. So which I think seems like that's quite tiring to keep doing that over and over again by yourself on a dating app.
For me, I always believe that the best things in life come to those who don't look for anything or don't expect anything. Something that is always tied into human nature is greed and ambition. Not to say that, when we view dating is greedy or ambitious, but have you ever thought about, maybe Q, for example, when's the last time you bought a bag?
Can't remember exactly.
Do you remember the bag you bought?
Yes. It's a Shopee bag.
Okay, maybe let's think about something nice, branded sneakers, a bag,
Okay, I bought
makeup.
Sambas.
So when you bought it afterwards, how long did it take for you to think about what's the next shoe I want to get afterwards?
You're asking the wrong person.
Yeah, I think wrong person.
Yeah.
This side of the couch.
Okay, so when's the last...
Ask Joey.
So Joey, when's the last time you bought a really nice bag for yourself?
This morning.
So when you bought that bag, instinctively in the top of your head, do you think of, okay, what's the next bag I want to get?
No,
I
I've
want this
been
bag, I want
eyeing
that
this
bag.
for a very long time.
But after a while, I think you would start to think about what's the next bag you want to get, right? Or what's
Oh
the
yeah, I
better
have
bag,
a,
the
I have
bigger
a
bag.
wish list.
Exactly, you have a wish. And it goes the same for people. When they want something and when they get it, a lot of times, a lot of people they'll think about, how can I get better? Oh, I'm too used to this. I have this already. I want the next thing, And this can be quite applicable in dating. That's why for dating apps, we tend to always say that, not to say that it's for everyone, but we personally feel that a lot of people on dating apps, a lot of them, they're not there for the right reasons. And they don't exactly want someone or they love that person. I think a lot of them love to be in the idea of dating. If you're in dating apps, I feel that it can get tiring for a lot of people because you're just going through the same process. And in terms of how you meet someone, log on to the app, swipe. Okay, you find a person, you swipe. Then afterwards you talk, and you either port into Instagram or Telly. It's always what's your Telly, what's your Instagram. Then you port over there, then okay, where do you want to eat, where do you want to go? Then you find yourself after 6-7 dates that you're going to the same place, same area, same convo. What do you do? It can get very repetitive and really, really tiring.
A bit paiseh also because like the bartender at the bar would see you with like multiple different people.
Maybe.
Oh my god, I need to share something. My friends recently found out that they went on a date with the same person. The same person actually said the exact same thing. Do you like flowers? He bought them flowers. And then he brought them to the same restaurant. We are in the same clique. They found out 3 years later. And then they open up the chat. It's the same guy saying the same thing. It's true, my
At the
god.
same
So that's why
time.
when you said this, no, it's like I think 1 year apart.
Oh.
But 1 year later, his game is still the same.
Maybe at home
Yeah.
he got damn lot of flowers. Like he got a garden.
I mean, good for him lah.
Oh, don't say that. No, I still remember the first time I created a dating profile when I was like single. And I remember thinking, oh my god, there's so many people on this app. You don't want to do too much, but you can't do too little because you want to stand out and communicate enough, like efficiently enough about yourself. And then you realize, like, now that I'm in a relationship, right? And I'm observing how people go through apps. The judging process is so stringent. It's like, why did he choose this photo with who's that girl on the side? Like, why did he choose this animal photo? Trying too hard. Like, you can't please everybody. Every little decision, whether conscious or not, he is being judged very, very harshly, I feel. And it's so hard because sometimes nowadays, right, people take a screenshot and then make a TikTok about your profile and make fun of you. It's so hard to put yourself out there online. And Singapore is so small. You never know, like, maybe someone knew you in primary school and then primary school you made a mistake. Like, last time he like never do homework or like, and then suddenly like, oh, I don't want to date someone my friend knows. So I'm leaning towards dating events being more efficient, but shall we weigh the pros and cons a little bit?
I think before we weigh the pros and cons, just want to put it out there that given the rise of dating events is actually due to a lot of people being tired of using dating apps. So just to pull up some data that I've
Stats.
curated. All dating apps except Bumble, if I'm not wrong, are owned by a company called Match Group. And year to date, Match Group is down 14%.
Down 14% in what? In active users or in...
In its share price, it's been dipping, and a lot of people they don't stay on dating apps as long and they're feeling really tired. So there is a study published in the journal Computers and Human Behavior, which found that people who meet on dating apps have less stable marriages. So they surveyed about a few thousand adults who filled out questionnaires about the state of their unions. Online daters reported less satisfying and stable marriages and relationships than those who meet their spouse offline. And a lot of people are starting to get it. And actually, a lot of online dating platforms and companies, they don't actually share these data online publicly because it's actually not in favor of them. But I think more and more people are starting to drop out of dating apps or see that it's starting to become so repetitive.
I feel like arguing on the other side, right? Too much of something is always like, then you'll get bored. Like, I feel like if I kept going to dating events and every time it's just making friends and I'm like, I'm so tired, I don't want to make friends, a big social gathering might drain me socially as well, then I might revert back to the apps.
I think it kind of is a case of like, now there are more options lah.
Yeah,
Rather than
yeah.
like, apps are like the one and only way and avenue.
Okay, so let's get into the pros and cons.
I think pros for dating events is number one, you get to meet people face to face. Every event we send a feedback form, right? All of them always say like, the reason why they go is because they just want to meet someone physically. Like they don't want to have like online interactions anymore. A lot of them say like you can judge a person immediately when you talk to a person. So you can decide whether you want to continue this conversation or not. But for dating apps, you have to like, where are you from? What are you doing now? That kind of thing. So it's a very back and forth thing.
As in, you can still make friends lah. I mean, the expectations might be a bit less extreme, yeah, because like what I mentioned
You're
just
not
now, when I'm
confined.
there, when I'm on a date one-to-one, I have already this intention that this person might be the one. But then when you go for a dating event, it could be like, maybe this person ABC could be a friend, but
Yeah.
the
Or it's
rest...
just a party with like
Yeah.
all single people.
Yeah.
Actually, the pros is because a dating event, you see how they interact with other people. You don't usually get to see your date interact with other human beings. So you see it from a third party point of view. And there's a game, right? How competitive are they? How assertive are they? Like these are a lot of situations, right, that you only get to see much later on in a relationship or like even dating. And you get to see everything now at one go.
Actually, a lot of dating shows, right, like Love Island, Love is Blind, when they see other people playing a game or going through a challenge, then they get the ick. or they realize, oh, how impressive of this person to be this charismatic, or he's funny, or he can carry the weight of a situation, right? Then I think that's where you see a different side, like what you just said.
Must see people do things lah, rather
Yeah.
than just sit down and eat dinner.
Oh, you mean like on a normal date?
even
Yeah.
if you go on a golfing date, for example, you don't really see how they interact with other people. They might be very nice to you.
No,
Service
but
staff
like
is also like a small.
golfing is like, if like how do they react to losing,
Yeah,
or like
correct,
that kind of thing,
correct.
right? Whereas
Yeah.
I think when it comes to dating apps and then like dates that follow dating apps, a lot of people like have it locked down to a formula or a template. Like your friend, do you like flowers? I buy you flowers. Then at dinner I ask the same like 5 questions, and then after that like okay, yeah, do I want a second date? That kind of
Yeah.
thing. It's very formulaic lah. So I think that's maybe one of the reasons why like dating events maybe are more interesting, like because it's a bit more spontaneous.
But I think dating events might be a bit more scarier for introverts. Would you all say that? How's your turnout?
Actually, if the events, right, there's quite a lot of introverts because they want to like get outside the comfort zone. But I think because we market it that way also, it's more of like they not used to it, so they want to try. There was one event, you could tell that the room was full of introverts. The volume of the room was a lot quieter. And then like you had to tell them to like, hey, got deck of cards you can use one. That kind of thing. Then they're like, oh, then they will slowly look. But the previous event wasn't like that.
Actually, all introverts are extroverts around the right people. That's what I believe. And I think once the ice is broken, it becomes so natural. It's always for the 20s to 30s when they first come in, it's like a bit quieter. Then I think 15 minutes later, when we start to nudge and start to capo everyone, they're like, it's so noisy and so lively and happening.
The good thing about your social media presence is that it's almost like a promise and a guarantee that it's a safe, controlled space, which is why introverts will feel safe enough to sign up because they know they're not going alone, and everyone is going in the same position they're going as. Like, I'm going alone, I'm going to meet people. It's the same amount of pressure that's shared amongst that whole group compared to like going out and meet a stranger. You don't know whether this person is going to be like 30 years older.
I think one of the pros is that it's less pressurizing because like in a social mixer, right, if you don't like someone, you can just walk away. But if you meet someone online, you're stuck with that person for dinner for like 2-3 hours. You get what I mean? So it's like you can
how to walk away?
because it's a social mixer, right? You can just
Oh.
like start a convo with someone else, or like I'm going to toilet, then you go somewhere
You
else.
hold a drink, then you like slowly like bounce away. I mean, or you can just pretend to pick up a call or like go to the washroom, touch up your makeup.
I think I'll be
And we
quite
put it in the dark setting as well. So if you want to just slip away into shadows, you really could do it.
Look there.
Yeah, you really could do it. Yeah. But not to say that dating apps are bad. I think it ultimately depends on the kind of person you are. Great part about dating is that if you're someone who doesn't have a lot of time, and you're someone who judges a person more based on their looks, which is completely fine, then, maybe dating apps might be better. Dating events, they don't show you the face beforehand. So if you're someone who's more looks driven, I think dating apps might be more suitable. We actually had a time where we were at Hard Rock, and there was one of the attendees who came. She feedback to me that she actually uses dating apps a lot and wanted to give this a try. But after seeing more than half the people show up, she said she didn't want to go to table or participate at all. She did the quiz, so she was in the system, but she sat down and away the whole time. And I was a bit confused as to why she wasn't participating at all. And when I actually came up to talk to her about it, I was like, hey, why do you not want to participate? She just said that, oh, all the guys here are quite bad looking, they're quite ugly, they're not tall enough. And I guess this is one of the cons of dating events, because we can't curate looks. And it's a bit prejudicial to do it as well. So we really are more about, if you're someone who value connection and and not so much of the looks, maybe dating events might be better. I think it really just depends on what kind of person you are.
But I think that's also testament to how a lot of Singaporeans, right, they cannot do like house parties with strangers. Whereas I think like more Western cultures, it's like, oh, I'll just turn out, I don't know anyone there, but it's fine. But I feel like we are engineered to like, can I bring a friend? Or like, I don't know anybody there. So it's good that I think now with the rise of dating events, we are, dating aside, right, and finding love aside, we are kind of like learning how to be social lah.
Also, so much of our lives exist in our phones, and then you don't want to associate work and dating with the same device also. Like, it's just another swipe. You're already swiping all day. You just want to put it down and you long for like a genuine human connection. But on the other flip side, you can also date beyond your territory if you are dating online. Like, I believe Tinder Plus, you can date overseas you can pay extra to date, like maybe Malaysia or Australia. You can choose your region. And so I guess that's another plus point. Like you'll get to meet people you necessarily wouldn't.
Actually, in Singapore, right, before dating apps, how people like date?
I think mostly all in school or like workplace.
No, really, yes. No, we always talk about it like school and work is your window. Then if you
Miss
you miss.
We do have a lot of successful couples as well.
Actually, Nick, if you were single right now, would you go to an
Go only.
event?
Would you like to come?
But I married.
Oh, sorry.
But go there make friends can, right?
There's a friend.
That's
But then
friends,
just upfront, I'm like, hey, I'm married.
You just walk around like this.
I'm married. Do you have people that are like attached that go
For
the friends?
friends one, yeah.
Basically, what happened was obviously towards the end, you have to meet your match. Then it was weird because everyone always meets their match. But that night, we somehow had a few people who were standing there that did not have a match at all. And I was like, okay, the person disappear, run away. We have to try and find who that person is. You know, I said, oh, this guy's name, where is he? I saw this guy sitting all the way at the back, and he was like, every time I call his name, he would look a bit shy, he'll hide his face. So I walked out of him and said, hi, is there a problem? Is there a problem with your match? Why are you not here? And he's like, oh, I came here because I actually have a girlfriend. I'm just here for fun. Yeah, but I'm like, oh, okay, does she know? And he's like, oh, I'm sure she's fine with it. You know, she's.
I'm
I'm sure she's not.
fine
Yeah.
with it.
I'm sure she's not, darling.
Like that. Yeah, we did have a few instances of this happening.
So these people still slide in. So they can lie in the form.
Because you will outright ask, are you single? is
Yeah,
it?
no, they ask like, why are you single? So they can say like, oh, blah, 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 I haven't dated in a while, blah, blah, blah. So if they apply, it means they're single, technically. They could lie also in the saying, oh, I'm finding someone, blah, blah.
But that's so like for the friends one, right? If like someone like me goes, right, then will I disappoint like the
No,
people
but
that I match with?
unless you're not going for a dating one, like if
so
it's
if I go
intentional,
for the friends one,
then I think no,
I
it's
think
okay.
it's fine
what.
because it's friends, what?
oh.
If you go into the dating one, we are the first people who scold you.
Like
you know
I
what
will
mean?
not be shunned lah. Like by other people.
Shamed.
Like,
You will
huh? You
shun
married, then like you waste my match.
No. Everybody there is intentionally looking for friends.
Yeah, I mean, obviously some people look for, because friends is a lot more laid back. There's no expectations, obviously. So
But
some
then they
people,
got like some low
still
key,
have,
they
still
low
have,
key
yeah.
want to like date one. mah.
Yeah, I mean, we
Like,
had a
sian.
30s to 40s yesterday event for friends, and some actually are married or some have kids, and some people just
They
genuinely
connect
want
through
to.
having kids.
Oh, you're so cute.
Yeah,
It's so
I was
wholesome, okay.
walking past trying to get a drink at the counter. I overheard a lady saying, "Oh, these are my two boys." So you know,
Oh, so cute.
I think as we go on, I think people around like our parents' age, they also struggle to find friends, right? I'm not saying that you guys will plan for seniors.
we should do one at the void deck or the
No,
community
but actually
center.
you should do
Yeah.
for seniors actually. Oh my
Actually, got a
god.
few companies, not companies, I think like elderly care centers kind of thing. They ask us to do, so that they want to match up with elder people to like find friends.
Like I see a lot of people in their 50s or 60s, after they retire, right, then their whole life has like revolved around work. All the people that they hang out with on the day-to-day are like colleagues. So then they don't really have many friends to spend time with. So like these sort of events are quite good lah. And then there's a lot of like preconceived notions about, oh, go to the CC or go to the RC and then go and do Tai Chi, that kind of thing. So something that is a bit more like fun and like new could really benefit society. Question part. Okay, come. Guests can go first.
Would you rather have an extra finger or an extra nostril? Extra finger, then can do more stuff, ma.
Oh?
I mean, like,
Do more stuff.
as in, like, how to
What
say?
stuff?
I think you can multitask better with an extra finger.
I see.
If you got extra finger, which one is the middle finger?
That's right.
Then you got no middle
must
finger.
like that, people.
Play sa.
Texting or calling? Yeah, if I'm home, I just really prefer texting because if I'm going to see my partner outside, like the whole day, you know, I think everyone just needs their own time to relax.
Would you rather know how you die or when you die? I rather know when I die because then I can just plan my life.
How you die is quite
The how is
scary.
intense.
No, then if they say
Drown.
I'll choke on water and then I'll end up dying. Then every time I drink water, I scared.
Always accidentally wave back at people who weren't waving at you, or always call someone by the wrong name. Wave back at someone who is not waving at me. Then I pretend I'm not waving at the person also. Then they're like, I'm not waving at you. I say, I was not waving at you. What?
For the rest of your life, would you rather wear shoes that are 3 sizes too big or loose underwear that you have to pull up every 5 minutes? I will choose underwear.
Underwear.
Because if I wear a belt or like pants, you don't have to worry. It's only if you wear a skirt that you worry.
Shoes quite too important already.
I'll look like Ronald McDonald.
No, then like you run, you go to the gym, all that.
Either you can bend the toe. I don't like that. You know when the shoe is big.
I think it's a guy you can just clench and just
Clench what?
like your underwear falls, right?
No, if you clench,
Why are you
it's
clenching?
smaller.
You kept the cloth, is it?
Yeah, you can kiap with your bum. That's the
But
man.
we also got bum.
That's
we cannot
veggie.
get ah.
We
Girls
got,
also can.
We got. Okay. Let's stop.
Girls can kept.
Can I ask how different are the 20s and the 30s? Like in terms of the behavior.
Okay, so for 20s to 30s, they need a bit more pushing on. They're a bit more shy, introverted. But for 30s to 40s, they self-facilitate themselves. Like, got some tables don't even want to use the deck of cards because they start their own conversation already. I think people in that age, they already know how to talk. But people in the 20s, they're still figuring out their social cues
yeah.
and
Right.
everything. Like, yeah, so they need a bit more pushing. Somehow the 30s, 40s can get a bit more wilder-ish. They drink a bit more.
Oh,
So
that's
yeah,
true.
they drink
That's
a bit
why we're
more.
hungover.
And then they really like treat it like a party.
Oh, I would expect the opposite actually.
Yeah, I was quite surprised also. So for the mixers, right, girls like to go together. Guys, they also go together, but they are more willing to come alone.
Actually, out of like, for all your events, right, what's the percentage of people that you reject?
Reject, I think about a good 30 to 40%. Wow. Yeah, because some of them really like, they just try to submit only. So a lot of them just leave empty names or like they'll put, I just want to see what is this about. They'll say that only. Yeah, so they get rejected lor.
Then do they pester you? Like through
Some
the
will.
DMs? Like, why am I not in? Why are y'all being judgmental to my form?
They don't say that. They just say like, am I in the waiting list? They'll DM us on our Instagram.
They'll message repeatedly asking when will I get invited, things like that.
Actually, amongst your friends, right, what's the wildest story you have heard of like couples meeting organically?
One of my friends was hiking through the European Alps.
Oh.
And then he met a girl on the mountains. And then they ended up spending some time together.
Like on that trip lah.
Yes. What kind of time, I don't know. I never go and ask. But generally, they had like a whole like rom-com situation lah. Like
Quite cute
Before
lah.
Sunrise. You all got watch Before Sunrise, the movie? Yeah. It's basically like before this guy leaves, then they spend this time together, then they leave. Like a European summer fling kind of situation lah. So I think those kind of situations quite cute.
Yeah.
But it's not wild. Like, what's wild?
I think one that I know is the guy called her wrong number or something, but they started a convo. Then they think I think they engaged already. Since poly, so it's like 7-8 years ago.
I love that.
Mine was, I think the wildest one was, this happened not too long ago, but I knew of someone. She's a distant friend, but she crashed into the car of some guy and they met through that and like, exchange number, let's settle this. And now they're together, dating, I think.
So actually, next time you're driving, right, then you see, this guy quite cute. Then you.
Crash landing on you.
Crash landing into you, maybe, yeah, it's something like that.
I love that.
Well, actually, Singapore not again. I feel like our society is not built for this kind of like interactions.
Anything radical out of the norm. Like when I first met Charlie online, my friends were all like, no, you're
Yeah,
not
yeah.
flying across.
She met her husband on Omegle.
Oh.
But when I met him and I decided to fly to New York to meet him for the first time, all my friends were like, no, you're gonna end up dead, murdered. And I was like, sign me up.
Last time in secondary school, right, I see the girl at Serene Center, Max. Then I go up to her and ask for her number, right? Then I always get rejected.
I actually don't like being asked for my number in public.
No, I think you have to start a conversation first. I find it very strange when someone comes up and then, I saw you from afar, can I have your number? Like, what happened to hey, hello, how are you?
I don't like the hey, hello, how are
No,
you
but the hey,
also.
hello,
No,
they
I'm
cannot
joking.
also what? But how come when Hugh Grant do it in the rom-com, okay?
Because it's Hugh Grant and it's fake, it's a movie.
Yeah lah.
Recently, I was attending a wedding, so I booked a Grab Hitch. The Grab Hitch driver arrived. He was in a suit and blazer.
He going for the same wedding?
I was clearly going for a wedding, and also I booked to the hotel. And then we just started a small little conversation, and I asked, by any chance, are you going to a wedding? Then he said, yes. Then I'm like, same wedding? Then, no, it wasn't.
Oh.
Yeah, but then we didn't continue the conversation. So,
You lame, yeah?
Hey, I was the one that asked him, he didn't continue. I already made the first move.
Oh, so actually if he continue, you okay? Like maybe after wedding, grab a drink at the bar.
I think I okay.
Wow.
Guy, what
Nearly.
were you doing? Unless maybe he was attached.
Married or attached.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, which good job to him because he did not engage.
No, I don't like the idea of my transportation. Actually, it's illegal, first of all, because they know your address. There's been a few occasions where I'm in a private hire and we're just talking, and then he will ask for my number or say, because they have my number, right? She's like, can I contact you after this? Like right at my block. You know where I stay. I feel unsafe. I don't like this. There've been moments where I can tell they're asking a lot of questions and I'll ask them to drop me off somewhere else because I don't want them to know where I live. So it's a bit like, actually it's a bit difficult to be, you
A
want to be
man.
forward. Yeah, difficult to be a man and a woman because you don't know what situation is safe or unsafe. So in the case of the most organic at its bones, seeing someone you think is attractive in real life, how would you guys like being approached? And this is open to like everyone on the couch.
I want the girl to do like, approach me like I'm in an 80s club. You know the TikTok?
I know.
The-
Yeah.
I think that one quite good.
I feel like it's always a stereotype that like guys need to ask the girl, but there are a lot of girls. I know a lot of girls that are very daring. They'll go ask for a guy's number, and he's usually very taken aback. He's like, sure.
I think it depends on what kind of guy, like what's the guy's type. Like if it's those introverted, quiet guy that like when the girl makes the first move, right? Then maybe.
I think someone shouldn't like come up to you and straight away say, hey, I want a number, or like you're good looking, kind of thing. I think just strike up a normal conversation. Like, where do you get your shoes from? And then start off from there. Like organically, it doesn't have to be like I think you shouldn't show your intentions immediately.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like even if you are in like a cafe alone, then someone come and like, hey, I love your shoes, where do you get it from?
Or like, what drink are you drinking? That kind of thing. Then you start off the conversation.
So clever.
Instead of like, like, can I get a number? Then a bit like, I think that turns a lot of people off.
I remember I was at an event one time. It was quite a while back, and I thought that this lady was quite attractive and nice. So what I just did was I just walked up, because I know a bit of the painting, so I just say, oh, what do you think of this painting? It's yada yada, and then we just start naturally talking. I just like to talk about. I just try and find like common interest that we both have, or something that's interesting we both can talk about. And at the end, I was like, oh, I really enjoyed this conversation. Like what the private hire drivers would say. May I have your number afterwards?
I think as a female, unfortunately, right, even if you think it's a friendly, totally platonic, you never really know. And that's what's scary about it.
Do you guys suggest sliding into DMs?
I think now people don't really.
I think it
slide
used to
into
be
DMs,
like
they just
a,
reply stories.
maybe it's like a 2020 thing.
It's good.
So you start that common interest with the story already.
It has to seem like you're not intending to hit on the person. It has to come very natural.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think once you have that intention, it's a bit.
Maybe it's to come like naturally. A lot of female friends tell me like they love it when a person, like a guy, doesn't just like come up directly and just says, or messages them like, oh, I like you, I want to go on a date, because it can be very intimidating. You're being put at a tough position. They tell me that you have to always make her feel comfortable and safe first before, if I want to ask you out, she doesn't need to think about whether you're creepy or you're going to kill her, etc.,
Oh,
etc.
kill her. Okay.
What are the best kind of stories to reply to?
I know. When someone's eating or like we post food picture, where is this?
But if location tag already be like, oh, would you go again? Or would you recommend?
Yes, correct. Or like, if you're traveling, maybe, hey, is Korea cold right now? Need to pack how many heat tag? You tell me. You know what I mean? Like,
so
make
it's like
it casual.
more functional and like utilitarian kind of questions.
Like photos of the dog, maybe, or like the pets.
I
Don't
think
reply.
you ease into it. Like you cannot straight away comment on the selfie or the outfit. Like it has to be non-tied to them first. Like maybe their food, then the
Right.
dog. Then maybe like 3-4 replies later, you're like, oh, I like you look nice today. Or
what would you
something
say
like
to
that.
what would you say to the dog? Like our dog is so cute.
Our dog?
The future dude.
Okay, so actually like we all keep talking about like taking it slow, like being subtle, right? But have you all ever experienced like someone like fast game?
Through the DMs, I've received some just like, hey,
Wanna smash?
ew, can you not?
But do people do get that DMs though? They'll publicly post it on their story. Then say, oh, this person did that.
Oh, damn.
Like they'll just ask DTF, like immediately. I think guys really try their luck, man.
Mine is not that extreme, but more like, hey, you're really my type. I will cut to the chase. Do you want to grab some dinner? Yeah, grab a dinner or
I
something.
quite like that actually. No bullshit. So it's just down to when you vet his Instagram, you vibe or not. If you don't, then it's
True. And then if it's private, then how do I vet?
I think if you are your account is private, you cannot slide into DMs.
Also, you must tell people, if you want to sign into DMs, make it public.
no,
Yeah.
true.
I think it's just one night, like long time ago. I was just really drunk. I just went to message her and I was like,
Oh, it's you.
yeah, it was me. Yeah. My friend was like, he was enabling me to like just message like this girl. I just messaged for fun. I'm like I was like, hey shorty, like you're so like
Shorty?
I forgot what, because she's quite short. Like so I was like, I forgot what I said. Then afterwards, but she replied and then we became friends after. Thankfully.
But whether it's shorty or shorty, I think
Either
don't
way.
use that.
Unless you're Sean Kingston.
Shorty,
Like the melody.
Wow, he really daring. He's daring.
Have you slid into someone's DMs before?
No.
Or tried to reply to someone's story to start a convo?
No, I've never used social media to hit on someone, I think.
What if they ask like DTF, but then actually they just want to go eat Din Tai Fung?
Down.
Then people are like, "Ee, this guy."
He's like, oh, but I got membership.
So for you guys, for someone who's going for a dating event, what is one advice you'll give to them?
I think don't put too much pressure on finding someone, because I have a few people who like you could tell they really like want to find someone at the event, and then it just chases people away. It's really meant for a party to get to know people, either friends or a potential date. You don't have to die like find a date at the event. Because if you put too much pressure also, you won't act like yourself.
You can come off too strong and intense also. Yeah.
Yeah. Like actually maybe on a day-to-day basis you are okay, but then because you like stress yourself out, oh, I must find
So what do
somebody.
you like? What do you like?
Yeah.
I think my biggest advice for anyone who wants to go to any dating event would be to just be unapologetically yourself. In social media, you always think about, oh, this angle is not right. My hand looks a bit weird. I think that you don't have to worry about whether or not someone would like you or not, because the right person will love and accept you and like you no matter what or who you are, So just be yourself and just have fun. That's what's most important.
Thanks so much for watching this episode of The Hot Pot. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Me Listen.
And subscribe to us if you haven't already.
And to all the singles out there, let us know as well down in the comments if you would ever join a dating event.
And a big thank you to our guests, Angelo and Jean. Thank you for coming here.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, we will see you on the next episode.
Bye!
I don't think I've been approached before in real life. So sad.
You've been attached most of your life. What are you talking about?
No, but I want to reject somebody also, ma. Oh, so
Okay,
sorry.
if anyone watching this, can you just approach him? Even
So
though
sorry,
you're not
I'm
yet?
so sorry I'm attached.
So sorry,
But I
my
never
ring.
got the chance to do that.